So I am sitting here going through Sarah Mack stacks and decided that maybe I would take out some of her coffee table books. And I am a person, I love coffee table books, but the price tag always seems like, it's not enough words in there for me to pay that price. But anyway, I just wanted to maybe start with this one, I Dream a World. The pictures are by Brian Lanker. And right here on the cover is a wonderful, iconic picture of Septima Clark. And this is actually one of the few coffee table books that I actually own. I love the pictures that are in here, and they're all black and white. And so they're just really just stunning and dynamic. And so let me just read a little bit from the Septima Clark page. It starts off, and this is her being interviewed. So these are her words. Septima is the Latin word for seventh, and in Haiti, it means sufficient. My parents named me Septima, and I wondered why, because I was not the seventh child, and neither was I sufficient, because six more came after me. But I got that name from an aunt down in Haiti, whose name was Septima Peace, sufficient peace. I was supposed to be sufficient peace, but I certainly wasn't sufficient. And I don't know about the peace because I did so many things that wasn't peaceful. My father came out of slavery nonviolent. He was a gentle, tolerant man. My mother was something else. She boasted that she had never been a slave, but I have a feeling that somewhere down the line, somebody paid her way out. My mother was born in Charleston, but reared in Haiti. The English school teachers in Haiti did a very good job with my mother because they taught her how to read and write. That made her proud. That made her the proud soul she was all her life. So this is just a little bit of Septima Clark, who again is on the cover. But I wanted to also point out that looking through Sarah Mack's copy, she has some things that really kind of make this her copy. So she has a little notation here. There's a poem titled Ithaca that's inside. And you can see here that she has cut it from the newspaper and taped it onto the inside page. And this is actually a picture of Merle Evers' hands holding on to the American flag in regards to the passing and the murder of Medgar Evers. And then also here on this particular page, my grandmother's handwriting says to Atiba, who's my cousin, and I'll have to find out from him how did his book, a book to him, end up back in my grandmother's hands. But it says Edelman Clark Collins. And then it says, look up Ruth Wright Hair. And so you can see here, if you look at the table of contents, Marva Collins has been circled, her entry. Marion Wright Edelman, her entry has been circled, and Septima Clark. And so there are the three that she was kind of pointing the way to for my cousin, Edelman, Clark, and Collins. And then Ruth Wright Hair, for anybody who grew up in Philadelphia. Again, my parents were both teachers. And she was just an iconic figure. And here is picture of her. This is an older picture, and this ran in the Inquirer. But she was the first Black principal in Philadelphia, and or I should say, I'm sorry, the first Black high school principal. She was a student who graduated from West Philly High at age 15 and had her master's degree from the University of Pennsylvania by the age of 20. And even with those kind of credentials, she was turned away from teaching because in the public school system in Philadelphia, they did not hire Black teachers, and so she went to Arkansas, and then she earned her PhD before she could finally return to Philadelphia and get hired. So that happened in the 1960s, and then she returned to Philadelphia. But just an iconic figure, iconic local figure, but certainly it is very clear that my grandmother was indicating and pointing the way that all of these Black women, Edelman, Clark, Collins, and Hare, are women that you need to know. So I'm gonna have to ask Atiba if he actually followed the charge, and maybe we can have a conversation about Sarah Mack leaving messages for her grandchildren, putting it in print to make sure that if we forget, that we kind of find our way back to it. So this is I Dream a World. These are pictures taken by Brian Lanker, and there are some really wonderful profiles in here, which is why I actually have a copy of this book for myself, but hers is much more interesting because I didn't write in mine. I don't have any inscriptions, and it is just kind of pristine, if you will. But again, hers is much more interesting. So thank you for joining me.